Game started.
Okay, Kip Stoke. Let's try e4 here. Okay, classical response, e4, e5. Let's go for the old Italian game. Bishop c5, okay. Pawn on c3. And I'm going to play it slowly with d3 this time. Just defend the center and have a slow build up here. Okay, stopping me from pinning the knight. I'm going to castle first. And drop my bishop back. He can play knight to, he could have done it on the move before. He can play knight to a5 here and harass the bishop pretty much at any time. And then maybe put the bishop here. If he trades, it'll open up the F file for me. So he doesn't trade. And now, can I push on with d4? Not yet. I need to defend the e pawn before playing d4. Okay, so he's got a pin here, which is, let's see, does that stop me from playing d4? Probably does. Pawn takes, knight takes, they can't take back. So let's bring the knight here first. I'm going to kick the bishop, but I wanted to have the knight here so I can take back with the knight if in case he chooses to exchange there. Okay, so he's going for the f4 square, which is reasonable thing to go for. I'm going to kick his bishop anyway. And he does decide to trade. Okay, so now if he plays knight f4, I'm going to take it with my bishop. Neither side has the bishop pair. He gave me the bishop pair and I gave it right back. But I've accomplished a little something, I think, by doubling these doubling the f pawn. So now I can play d4. If I attack the f pawn, he can defend it with g5, and I'm not sure if that really helps me all that much. So let's put a rook on the e file. This d4 pawn is shutting out his bishop and his knight, so it's doing a good job. I just need to figure out how to get my queen over to the king side here. He's got his queen over here already, I guess. Ah, I know. Queen here, threatening e5 and maybe taking or coming in here to h7 with a check. So he blocks that. Okay.
Server announcement.
It allows me to get another rook to the center. So let's see, if I play e5, pawn takes, knight takes, rook takes, queen takes. Yeah, he's got that covered. He's got e5 covered. Maybe I could consider expanding on the queen side. Ah, he stops that. I was just about to say, how about if I played b4, b5, kick that knight away, and then I could actually get in e5. Okay, if I play d4 now, d5, he can play knight to e5. If I trade, he can take. Yeah, it's not too attractive. Maybe I can route this knight around. Knight to g4, hitting the queen and hitting the h pawn. Just keep his pieces at bay over here on the queen side. Yeah, this opens up a square for my queen too. I want to hop over this way. Yeah, so he's going to keep expanding. I'm going to allow that and go knight to g4 here, see where he puts his queen. He might leave, yeah, he leaves this f-pawn undefended, so I can come over here, attack the f-pawn. And now if he pushes the g-pawn forward, it does open up this light square diagonal towards his king. And yeah, how else is he going to defend that? So
Server
let's take a look at this. One idea would be h4 immediately. And if he takes, I take the f-pawn. Another idea would be e4. e5, rather. He's got the rook, the knight, and the queen on it still. And this diagonal is not going to help me too much. So can he play, if I play h4, can he play h5 and kick my knight back? I guess he can. That might weaken the g-pawn. And I can drop my knight back to h2. Let's try this h4 idea. I need to try and create some weaknesses over here, leading towards his king, try and get my pieces in. Maybe I'm going to play g3, lift my king up and get a rook on the h-file. That might be an idea here. So he defends that way. Okay, g3. He definitely put a stop to he put a stop to the idea of pushing this pawn forward. Now he's got pawns on f6 and d6, stopping me from playing e5. Okay, but if he takes here, I can grab on f6 with check. So this f-pawn is effectively pinned. Yeah, I think his position is getting a little tricky. Okay, so let's take the f-pawn. Okay, there's a danger here. He can, yeah, he can take somewhere, and then my knight is pinned here. So I'm going to step to the side and bring a rook to the g-file. Just in time, I guess. Yeah, it's getting a bit tricky here. I still think I should have an advantage just because of the way his pieces are all locked out here. Can I move the knight with tempo, like here with check, but the queen can take? I was just thinking, if I move the knight with tempo, then I have the rook here winning the queen for a rook. So I could even sacrifice the knight, but I have to move it somewhere the queen can't take it. I could go here. I could take back and attack my queen. So let's just do a normal retreating move here. I'll still get a rook to the h-file here with the check, I think. Yeah, and the knight can route to f. The knight can route to f5 there. So I have a check here already. Pick up a pawn.
Check.
Hard to resist those pawns. And I wasn't sure if I played knight f5 first if the opportunity would still be there. But in this position, I can still get a rook to the g file and the knight to f5. So I think I should be breaking through pretty good here. I don't know, that might have been a waste of time, just grabbing that pawn. Those pawns, were they really going somewhere? But when I brought the rook over to the g file, he was going to play queen h7 anyway, and that would defend the pawn. So I'd lose my chance to grab the material. Yeah, here we go. Okay, he goes like this. That's interesting. So if he trades things off, this probably is helpful to me, right? Leaves him with fewer defenders. Okay. Oh, he goes there. Let's not let's not be too hasty and let a pawn break through ruin this game. Okay, so now he goes there. I think I should take it.
Check.
And he can take with the queen or the king. I still think I want to play knight to f5. He went with the king. Probably he didn't want to give up the h file there. Yeah, now if I push this e-pawn forward, then I can move this knight with check and win the queen, right? Except, well, once again, I have to move it somewhere where the queen can't take it. So not so simple. Maybe just a check along the g-file here will be worth something. The king will have to move again. He moves immediately anyway. So now let's open up this... Let's open up this diagonal. So the threat is knight takes c6 check, checking the king and attacking the queen. D6 rather. Okay, so he moved his queen away. And now, where can I go? I can go here. Maybe pick up another pawn. Yeah, maybe it's not so clear. Knight takes pawn, perhaps, but the knight is pinned there. But I am threatening to come in with the queen to g. To the queen to g6 is a bit of a threat, I guess. Got a bishop and a knight. His pieces are preparing to come into the game, actually. He's finally getting those active. Let's count the pawns. He's got 4 and I've got 5, but he's going to grab another pawn here. So material is going to be even, so I have to take advantage of his exposed king position here. Okay, and he didn't... he's attacking this pawn. Let's see, so I have a check with the bishop. And then if his king moves to a dark square, I have a check with the knight.
Check. Check.
And then where can the king go that doesn't get it into trouble? Yeah, there. I was going to say if it went to a light square, I have discovered checks on things. But he's on the back rank now. I don't know. Let's see. What can I do here? Well, my my knight at least is in a position to take back that pawn. So let's defend things here for the moment. Oh, his queen is on that. His queen is on that. So after all of this, we're going to end up with even material. Oh, this is terrible. Yep, and opposite colored bishops. Okay, let's shore up that pawn. And
check.
See if there's any interesting checks here I can do. Yeah, so I surely had something better than this. Don't know. I don't know where I went wrong, but somehow I could have done better, I'm sure. Check here, you can block with the queen. I don't know who's better in this endgame. Maybe I'm better in the endgame because I have this outside pass pawn, but it doesn't look like it's enough to win.
Check.
But I wouldn't want to lose this game after all of this. Okay, so he's going to try and keep the queens on. Interesting. Interesting approach. Giving up a pawn over here. But maybe he can come in and deliver a bunch of checks now. Always a danger. That's why I thought he was going to impose with the queen, because
check.
This pawn was hanging over here. But maybe it doesn't matter, because maybe he gets a perpetual check over here anyway. I don't think he can mate me, because I can kind of walk around in this area. I have enough degrees of freedom. The queen check on f2. I go back
check.
Here. And where's the next check? Down here, I guess. I got to be careful with the clicking. Watch the clicking. You don't want to move. He can grab
check.
a pawn. He can grab a pawn. He could have taken on a2 there.
Check.
Let's see. Isn't he starting to run out of checks now? And by letting my king get close to his king, he's actually running into some danger here. Okay, push that pawn forward. So I can force his king to this square.
Check.
And then on to a dark square. I guess that's the problem. I need to force him onto a light square so my bishop can check. Maybe here. Where's my queen? My queen's here. Yeah, I need a queen here and a bishop there.
Check.
That forces him to the back row. Now bishop here or here. Queen on a dark square. That forces him to a light square, and then my bishop can check. And my king's actually at the way now from that point. Let's try this though.
Check.
Keeps going that way.
Check.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm making any progress here.
Check.
I guess this is the threat. I put the bishop here. I'm threatening check and mate. And at the moment, he has no checks that he can deliver from his queen. He can bring his queen back to this square to defend against the threats, I guess. Queen to g7 would cover the back rank. But otherwise, it's check here and mate here. Yeah, so he stops that. Yeah, I just don't see it.
Check.
Yeah, now he can even step forward, right? Better put my bishop back where it's safe, because now he can get in some checks. Well, that might be interesting to look at to see if there was a way to
Check.
to create some kind of mating net there.
Check. Check. Check.
Okay, I'm just going to go for this endgame.
Check. Check.
Yep, he can't, he can stop my pawn from advancing, right? So I can attack this pawn over here. But, well, he's got enough moves. Yeah. That he can hold on to everything, I guess. So another draw. Okay.
Draw offered. Game drawn.
Okay, I'll upload that and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.